Welcome back to Saving the Republic with Joe Staten, presented by Grab Your Gear Network, where we speak to, guess who? You, trades workers, merit shop workers, and people who work hard. This channel and this show is for you. Here on STR, we bring you guys the news that nobody's talking about on the mainstream cycle, Monday, Wednesday, Friday evenings. So if you care about the stories that really matter, this show and this channel is for you. Now, we're going to start doing something new on the show where we break down one story at the beginning of each show that really applies and specifically impacts you, trades workers and merit shop workers, more than most other sects of the population. And this show here tonight is going to be maybe somewhat of an anomaly, but we're going to focus on the entire show, something that is absolutely critical for you to understand as a merit shop worker, as a trades worker, as somebody who works hard. This episode is specifically for you, and we're going to talk about how you cannot get too comfortable, all right? We are 25 days away from the most critical election in American history. We couldn't have two ideologies further apart in nature. The left largely is pushing an ideology that says America is bad. You're not allowed to have a country. You're not allowed to have a border. We choose, we promote, we hire based on identity, based on race, not based on merit. You should not be proud to be an American. There's something wrong with putting your country first. There's something wrong with wanting millions upon millions of dollars of aid to go to hurricane victims here in the United States instead of sending billions of dollars overseas to other countries. There's something wrong with you if you feel that way. That's what the left is running on. That's what they are. They hate free speech. They want to shut down opinions who they disagree with. Marxist, communist, these type of ideas is what the left is pushing for. And this extremism has caused moderates and actually former Democrats such as Elon Musk, Robert Kennedy Jr., Tulsi Gabbard to come out in support of President Trump. Elon Musk, maybe more notably, the richest man in the world publicly, has come out in support of Donald Trump so strongly. He spoke at his Butler rally. But important to note, earlier this year, Elon Musk said he would not endorse a presidential candidate, and it's just become so clear and evident that Donald Trump must be reelected if you want to maintain this country. If you want to keep your job, if you want to make sure your kids have opportunities for jobs, for college, for a future, to buy a home, to live in a safe community, to live in a safe country, to live in a patriotic country who loves liberty, Donald Trump is your president. That's your choice. And we are starting to see the polls really shift in the favor of Donald Trump, more so than any other time he's run for president. 2016, we all know Donald Trump won in pretty convincing fashion, albeit it was a close election, but he still won pretty convincingly. 2020, Biden arguably won somewhat convincingly. Again, only by 30,000 combined votes in 3 different swing states, but he still won the election by a pretty significant lead in the Electoral College. Now, what do these two things have in common? Well, in both elections, Donald Trump was trailing in the polls. In both elections, Donald Trump was trailing significantly in the polls. But in both elections, Donald Trump outperformed his poll numbers significantly, very much so significantly. All right. And so what we're going to do today is we're going to go over some news. We're going to go over some data, some statistics, and I'm going to explain to you again why you must vote. You cannot get comfortable. You cannot get comfortable. But without any further ado, let's go ahead and look at some numbers, some very good numbers for Donald Trump. Starting here on Real Clear Politics. The national lead for Kamala Harris is now 1.8%, according to Real Clear Politics, a very, very reputable, trustworthy source of polling data. All right, now why does this matter? Well, if we look right here, on this day in 2020, Biden was up 10.3%, Hillary Clinton up 6%. Okay, the actual outcome of the 2016 election was Hillary won the Electoral College by a slight margin, Biden by a couple points. But Trump outperformed these numbers significantly. So if we can go with a similar outcome, if we can assume there will be a similar outcome of underperformance in the polls, overperformance on election day, Donald Trump is probably going to take this electoral college, but he's also going to take the popular vote as of right now, which is very significant, 25 days away. More notably, Michigan, this state that Kamala was leading in for a long, long time, according to Polymarket, the state is now at a 51-49 Trump advantage, with Real Clear Politics having the polling average at 0.9% in favor of Donald Trump. Again, very significant. Kamala Harris needs Michigan very badly in this election. Very badly. You know, and what we're seeing in the Rust Belt states, I just actually went to Michigan. I drove to Michigan. My dad lives there. So many Trump signs. It was remarkable, actually. I've been to Michigan before in 2016 and in 2020. I did not see the support that I saw for Trump this weekend. Very significant support and showing for Trump. Even more notably, look at this. October 11th of 2020, so at the same time in the last election cycle, Biden was up 6.7%. Okay? Clinton was up 7.3%. So these numbers are actually pretty accurate in the sense that you can detect how much Trump was underperforming. It was about six points. All right? Even more so in 2016. So if Donald Trump is underperforming at all in these polls, we can safely assume that he will overperform and win the state on election day. So Michigan, I would actually be even confident enough with these numbers to put Michigan in his column. And that's what we see here on the RCP, the Real Clear Politics no toss-up map, where they, you know, if they just say based on the numbers right now, even if it's so slight, we're going to measure the map. And as you can see, Donald Trump wins Michigan. Donald Trump wins Pennsylvania. He wins Nevada, Arizona, Georgia, North Carolina. Now let's take a look at Nevada, because Nevada has been an interesting state recently in some of the poll numbers. Trump lost some ground in Nevada after Biden dropped out of the race, but now Real Clear Politics has Donald Trump leading 0.2%. As you can see, he has not led in this polling average since August 31st of 2024, shortly, not that long after Biden withdrew from the race. Prior to dropping out, Trump had a 6-point lead, very significant, but nonetheless, he's now leading in Nevada, which is significant. Arizona, comfortable lead, 0.5%, consistent polling ahead in Arizona for Donald Trump. And the thing is with Trump, if you poll ahead consistently, it's a pretty safe indicator that you're going to do well in this election. All right? And we are seeing prominent Democrats start to panic. Her numbers are not looking great. All right? I'm going to take you guys to Cenk Uygur, the founder and host of The Young Turks, a left-leaning YouTube channel production. And I'm going to play it for you. Check out what he has to say about these polling numbers.
This is Michigan. Michigan, where 2 weeks ago, and even a week ago, she had a lead, and 2 weeks ago, almost started to feel comfortable. Like, look at this, 925. So that's right around 2 weeks ago. She was up by 3 points in two different polls, in Bloomberg and Cook Political Report, very credible polls in Michigan. And that's when I started to go, oh, okay, looks like she took the lead. Here we go. And maybe she could add to it. Maybe it'll fluctuate back and forth. I don't know what's going to happen in that regard. But then, boom, now last set of polls coming in, Trafalgar, Trump +2, MIRS, MI News Source, Trump +1, Quinnipiac, very credible, very legitimate, +4 for Trump. Oof. That's Michigan. She's got to win Michigan. And so now if she's losing Michigan, I'm super worried. But Pennsylvania is the most important state. How's it going there? Well, she was +5 in Bloomberg 2 weeks ago. And they're all over the place. There's ties here. Then there was +3 for Trump about, a little bit later than that, about 5 days after that. Quinnipiac came in with a +2 for Harris recently, but insider advantage, the last poll out of Pennsylvania, +2 Trump. So the last poll's not the only poll, but now in the average of polls, he's taking a +0.2 lead in Pennsylvania. She can't lose Pennsylvania. She can't. It's over if she loses Pennsylvania. This is like, we're worried about it's going to drag out, or is there going to be violence? Is there going to be denying elections? Democrats will whine and complain. They'll blame everyone under the sun, but they're not going to cheat and pretend they won the election, right? They've never done that. They're not going to do that. The Republicans who think Hillary Clinton whining about the 2016 election is not the same thing as setting up fake electors and considering martial law.
So as you can see, total panic is starting to set in for Cenk and other Democrats because they're seeing the writing on the wall. The writing on the wall is that this storm of propaganda that the media has pushed upon you and the rest of the country about Kamala Harris being this amazing, glowing, joyous, qualified candidate is simply not the case. Kamala is as you all have seen, she's a surrogate of this machine, right? The military-industrial complex, the neocons, the establishment, the uniparty. She is the teleprompter reader for those people. That's who Kamala Harris is. She cannot operate without the teleprompter. So Americans are waking up. But the point of this video, the point of this show, is to remind you, the trades workers, merit shop workers, and hardworking Americans, you cannot get comfortable. You cannot sit back and not vote and think, oh, Trump has the election. My vote doesn't matter. Even if you live in a state like me in Ohio where Trump has a lead, you cannot get comfortable. You must get out and vote. Your livelihood, your way of life is on the line. Period. These ideologies could not be more different. Okay? We have Trump running on traditional American values. Largely, we have Kamala Harris running on quasi-communist Marxist values, where she is a talking head, a useful idiot of the uniparty neocon warmonger machine that very well could drag us into World War III. So if you care about your way of life, care about your safety, you got to vote Trump, and you got to get out and vote and not get comfortable. So if you guys enjoyed today's show, make sure you leave a like on the video. Make sure you check out our new docuseries. Part 3 just came out on the YouTube channel, The Union Hustle, exposing union fraud in America's unions. You got to check that out. You don't want to miss it. We also put clips up on our Instagram and TikTok pages, so be sure to check those out. Leave a comment down below. Do you think Trump's going to win this election? Are these polls accurate? Are they wrong like they've usually been? Let us know what you think down below. Thank you so much for taking some time to watch today's show on STR. Again, we go live Monday, Wednesday, Friday with important news stories you probably haven't heard about. But until the next episode, I will see you all next time. Take care.